Yay is in the building.
This is Coprolalia. The podcaster says, give me 4 reasons why not. This is our holiday special that is a bit after Christmas. So I guess contrary to the name of... No, I was going to make a Russian joke about rushing past the finish line, but I couldn't quite make it.
You rushed it.
I rushed it. I rushed the joke. We've got some Russian Christmas music, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this is the first podcast we recorded in person. We're lying on Giles' bed.
We haven't actually met before this. So.
The way we first met by hitting the record button on our very first podcast.
I thought Rai would be a sexy little boy, but he's a sexy big boy.
Big boy, still sexy. The name of my album is coming out on the 15th.
Big boy, still sexy.
I mean, there is actually a rapper called Big Boy. He's remained consistently sexy through most of his career. He doesn't need to release an album titled that because most of us already know that he is still sexy.
What age do you... It's different for everyone, but at what point do you think someone just stops being sexy?
I think it stops being a big boy.
What's the oldest sexy lady you've ever met?
I guess it would depend on what we're looking at. We're looking for brains. We're talking physicality.
No, we're talking about sexiness.
Sexiness, which is the whole package, I would say.
Yes. The average of the whole package.
I'd say there's no age cap.
Yeah, but what is the oldest sexy lady you've ever met?
I don't know, somewhere around the 45, maybe a little older.
No. I think I can agree with you there.
It's like when you meet an old wizard. And you think, oh boy, here we go. He's got some stories to tell. He's gonna take you down a couple of roads less traveled.
I got another question.
Yes.
What's the youngest? No, we can leave that one there.
I'd probably say around about 30, 35.
Yeah, nice.
A nice little nice window.
They're like grossly underformed. So remember that.
For all you horn dogs out there, that's a horn dog. Make sure you hit that window.
Yeah.
As the bear. Saying there's a beautiful window between around 35 and 45.
There's only 10 years.
Yeah.
The best 10 years of your life will be around that. What's the youngest you've seen someone unattractive?
What? I mean, you can tell straight away. When baby pops out, you go, "That's a bad baby."
Yeah,
that's an ugly baby.
I think depending on the no, don't worry about
Such a dangerous road to go down.
Not really. Like,
are we talking?
We don't have to answer to anything.
That's true. And also, there's a difference between sexual attraction and just basic attraction.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have any sexual attraction at the baby point. Definitely, I think it's like hyper pedophilia or something.
Yeah, it's like a whole other thing. They probably should be.
You can be turned on by fetuses, I guess. Just little beans.
It's probably.
You like baked beans enough, you get turned on by fetuses.
I'm a bean baby boy lover.
Yeah. Big boy bean lover, still sexy.
The follow-up mixtape. What a big bean boy, baby.
Big boy beans. That's my idea for.
Is that the pseudonym? That's the rapper's name.
Yeah. So yeah, Big Boy, the artist who already exists.
Yeah.
And his debut double LP, Beans. Still sexy.
I mean, there's a couple of rappers that I'm sure there's a rapper out there that's got collard greens as their is the title for their mixtape.
Coloured Greens?
Coloured Greens.
Coloured Greens.
I think that's right. They're like... I can't remember. It's like spinach or something like that. Well, it's something different, but it's just like a side dish of green leaves. It's popular in the Americas and usually used a lot in I think it's like a sign of poverty or something like that. Like it's a side dish, quite common in lower class areas or something like that. So it gets used a lot in rap.
Interesting.
Should fact check these before we.
I thought rap was actually against poverty. They all seem to be infatuated with wealth and status.
That's just about the struggle, right?
Yeah.
You have to come from somewhere.
There must be like look at any successful rapper's career. Maybe their first album they were poor and struggling. The rest they weren't. They were living quite comfortably on a lot of money.
So a discussion on Fantano had Anthony Fantano, the needle drop, the Anthony Fantano. Had a discussion with a fan or a letter from a fan saying is struggle inherently was it necessary for hip hop?
Well, people ask that same question, but just about art in general. The idea that hip-hop is, like, pretty exclusive to it is silly.
Yeah, like, people love the struggling artist archetype. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like selling out is the worst thing you can do as an artist. In most people's eyes. So as soon as you make a buck off your art, then your art is inherently worthless or less, or worth a lot less.
We did talk about this last podcast, actually.
Oh, did we?
We talked about the compromise that comes with deliberately shaping your creation to make the most money possible.
Yeah, in relation to advertising.
Yeah.
We talked about last time.
Oh, yeah. See, if Kanye West was getting paid by Gucci and Lexus and shit like that to say their names in his raps,
yeah,
I wouldn't really want to listen to it.
Yeah,
I'd be like, this isn't really fun anymore.
So I guess just the other so there's being paid to do a particular thing is one thing, but like people prefer like you to be in the shit, like for you to be in poverty or struggling or to go through some trauma and then you make the art.
See, I think for a long time a lot of really great artists just did struggle. That was just the myth of the starving artist is incredibly like popular, and there does have to be some sort of adversity in one's life for them to like sort of conquer, in order to have something to tell, to have a story in general to tell. I think you can tell a story of just living a good life, but I don't know if you're going to relate or help people who are struggling the way you would if you were able to relate to them directly.
Yeah. I think
but the thing is, I think there is no such thing as not struggling.
Okay, yeah. Because talking about if they're talking about poverty and they're not in poverty, then
that's
that might be
a bit struggle. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's struggles that come from being rich and famous, or just part of a wealthier part of society. And
Adolf Hitler wrote a book called My Struggle, and that was all about how he had to live with Jews.
Is that what
No. No, I think it was more about politics and stuff, but...
Is that what Mein Kampf means?
Mein Kampf, yeah, translates to My Struggle. And he was an excellent hip-hop artist, of course. They called him,
Well, he really started from the bottom, and then he was there.
They called him a little gas chamber.
Jesus. little genocide.
Little Jew hater.
Surely he would dance around the topic a little more.
Lil.
Ooh. I can't think of any more Hitler jokes.
Lil Mustache, that's what they call him.
Lil Mustache. That's good.
Anyway, back to the struggles. So yeah, we all have to live around Jews today. So he's still struggling in his afterlife.
May he forever struggle.
Yeah.
Would be my opinion.
May he forever suffer the way that the living do.
If he didn't suffer because Jews existed. He suffered because he thought that was a problem.
Yeah.
Like he made his own struggle
in
his head.
Well, yeah. His struggle was something else. I think I was overgeneralizing by saying that that's what Mein Kampf was about.
Yeah. I guess, but swinging it back around,
doing a U-turn away from the Holocaust.
Away from the Holocaust. I guess people just like to think that if you're rich and wealthy, then it's all sweet. There is no dramas for you, and so if you make it,
yeah. I wanted to say something about that too.
Yeah.
How? Yes. I think I started this discussion by saying, after their first album, they've got money and they live comfortably.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you're probably going to end up like if you aren't distracted by a task the way that working full time would, then you are then left with this like battle against complete chaos and absurdity.
Yeah.
And also your own brain chemicals, depending on how healthy you are. And usually people go drink or, party. They hang out with people and enjoy themselves, do something to battle the overwhelming nothingness. And then problems come from that, and then, you get tied up with medical bills or something. Basically, there's always some sort of struggle. I think that you sort of lose your license to join in the class struggle, though, if you're living comfortably and sort of showing off your gold chains. I think maybe the first guy who did that was making a grand statement saying like, hey, like you used to tie me up in chains and now I've got solid gold chains.
Yeah.
That was like a whole statement. But now it's like people who don't really know what they're doing, just buying expensive shit with their money that they made, imitating others. And they are just these cheap imitations who a lot of the time are actually like criminals.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard about that XXX?
Yeah, Tentacion.
Tentacion, yeah, whatever. Like, I think he domestically abused
he did.
his partner, and then he threatened her to get her to to pull the claim or something, to renege on it or whatever. And so he got done for that as well, for trying to tamper with her.
Yeah.
So fuckhead. Like, it's not like his art transcends the fact that he's a fuckhead, in my opinion. And none of them, to be perfectly honest, are able to do that. I think usually good people end up being good musicians, but these days you can be a really shit person and then someone else can make a trap beat for you and then suddenly you're respected, but that's bullshit.
I mean, of course, there was always shitty people making great music.
Yeah. But they also turned into jokes at some point in their lives, I think.
Perhaps.
Take like MC Hammer or, just a bunch of other people who have seen huge one-hit wonder success, but then been like sort of a bit of a joke later on in life. Losing their money and not being able to ride on that single thing that they did anymore.
Yeah. I had a thing. I had a thing.
Was it about XXX Tentacion?
Yeah, I think it was just before that. But
XXX Tentacle Man.
With money.
Money.
Fuck, no, I just, my mind just went completely blank, unfortunately. I guess now it's all coming to light. These fight. No, I honestly don't have a thing.
Do you know that Tupac went to jail for rape?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's funny how I guess, and perhaps this also because the times we're in now, where people are getting outed for bad shit they do. I mean, it's clear that it's obviously just the industry and society in general that kind of allows this shit to continue onwards. But it's pretty crazy, I guess, how we can still idolize so many people from the past. That we've figured out that they did just terrible fucking shit, and certain ideas, certain things that they did, or certain ideas that they had, or ideas that they represented, can rise above all the bullshit, all the shit that they did, all the bad things, and then they just still this symbol of good. I guess.
I believe in redemption. I believe that to remove the option of redemption is to condemn someone to just continue to be a criminal or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what jail's for, I guess. You do your time, and you should be allowed to relieve yourself of that guilt.
Yeah.
But
in concept, not really how it tends to work though.
Yeah.
This is my problem with the way we're going about it these days, and I guess it's because it seems like our punishment for people at the moment, and this is rocky territory because of everything that's happened recently with people like Weinstein and Louis C.K. and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, punishment is absolutely necessary. Punishment is key to teaching people kind of right and wrong, or I mean, we should have kind of educated before they even got to that point, and that was kind of what I was saying with society as well. Is that it's all this it's just these lessons that you're constantly taught, or this environment that constantly enables you to do whatever the fuck you want, I guess.
Yeah.
So society really should be teaching us, obviously, before we even do anything that is wrong. But once we do something wrong, punishment needs to be really civil and really cold, I think. Like, it can't be emotionally driven in a way. It needs to be able to teach. Like, the person who's trying to change and trying to learn can be emotional. Basically, my frustration with is like it seems that a lot of people online, and I'm mainly speaking about online, the way we punish people now if they get caught, and it is just when they get caught doing something bad, the punishment is just that we are going to kind of try and destroy them as a person and as a concept by spreading this information.
Yes.
Rather than trying to...
Defamation seems to be the main play to ruin someone indefinitely in like the eyes of the public and whatever.
Yeah.
Seems to be the major move.
If redemption is not allowed, is impossible, that kind of... I don't think we have an understanding of layers of that, or levels of that.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like no one's redeemable if you've done anything wrong, if you fucked up at all, if you use a slight microaggression in one article, even like, so that's much further down the ladder from sexual allegations to you just said the wrong thing because perhaps you're still a little bit racist or fucking whatever, right? And you said the wrong thing, and then it's like, cool, we're gonna oust this person. They're never gonna write another article in their life.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta teach the person
from the whole. Yeah.
You're out of society now.
You are. You said sexual allegations, and it made me think of how that's not even illegal, if you know what I mean, like a sexual allegation.
Oh yeah.
Just like, I reckon you're a little bit sexual. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, hey now. Yeah, harassment, assault, those kind of
words.
Yeah.
Sexual harassment.
The interesting shit, you know. No.
I think it was a similar point to, and I'm not a big fan of
sexual allegations.
No, but I'm not a big fan of Bill Burr. But it was a point that he made about the Louis thing. It's like, we need to figure out levels to it, and how we can help people redeem themselves, and how we can help people learn, move forward, not just destroy.
He had a movie coming out on the weekend after his whole thing, and he just didn't release it or something. I can't remember what actually happened, but so that, I don't know, that's some form of damage control. That are you even allowed to begin damage control when you're like clearly guilty of something?
How do you mean?
I guess for some people, as soon as you're accused of being sexual, of being, like a fucking nuisance, your life from that point onwards is like cleanup duty. PR, fixes and things like that. Back in the day, I'm sure there used to be allegations all the time. And you were just able to get over it. But I think the internet allows the news article or the BuzzFeed post to last forever. Or as long as the servers are paid for. And BuzzFeed probably are going to be around a lot longer than anybody wants them to. Because that's how annoying shit works. It just fucking doesn't stop. Fuck BuzzFeed.
What's happening though is good, and I'm on board with obviously trying to
permanent ousting.
No, I'm not down for permanent ousting.
The history books will always show right underneath all your achievements that in 2014 someone made a sexual harassment claim against you. It'll be in the middle of your Wikipedia article.
It'll be the Wikipedia article. At the very bottom will say he also made some other things.
Louis C.K. or a history of sexual assault.
I'm on board with trying to. The words I've heard is drain the swamp. So try and clean up Hollywood, and not just Hollywood, but just like society in general, and try and bring an end. Obviously, I don't know if you can bring an end to such a thing, but try and enlighten a lot more people, teach a lot more people about the rampant harassment through society. But there's a lot. I guess online is just a constant shitstorm, so it can be hard sometimes to tell if somebody is trying to actually either destroy someone, teach someone, or it's just totally for their personal gain. If they're just trying to get clicks, like if you're the guys who first break that someone big did something wrong, that's just clicks for you.
Yeah.
Again, there's punishment needed, and it's not as simple as I'm not defending anyone.
I tell you what, say if if BuzzFeed thought or through some completely unsubstantiated claim heard that some actor had done something wrong, and then they just immediately post it because they know the clicks are there. If you think that say a clickbait article has been created and will exist forever on something that didn't actually happen, that poisons you slowly in the eyes of people you don't know. I think clickbait articles should be legally culpable, or whatever the term is. If you've fabricated something, you should either delete it or be fined money for lying.
You can be hit for defamation and stuff like that.
Fuck BuzzFeed. And libel or something. I think that's one of them.
But I guess to enforce it on such a large scale is really difficult.
Yeah, but I mean, if BuzzFeed posted some shit that was a lie about me, I'd definitely sue them. I know
with
that
all
they've got
$10.
I know I don't need to spend any money. I'll represent myself. The truth will win. That's my plan anyway. I'm sure that actually that's not a motto of lawyers anywhere.
That's like 101 when you walk into...
Truth will always win.
Big on the whiteboard, all the lawyers, first day of school, and this is truth equals nothing. Well, the truth means nothing.
1 in every 2 lawyers is defending a criminal.
Oh, it has to be more than that.
Well, there's
I see.
a defendant and a whatever. I actually do know the word for the plaintiff or something like that.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Fuck, in every court case, one of the lawyers is a fucking total scumbag, just doing his legal obligation to defend a criminal.
I think
he believes the truth will always win. So he bets on him losing.
Yeah. So I get paid anyway. The truth is going to win. The truth will come out. But he legally has to fight his hardest to keep it quiet. I think a lot of us assume like that a lot more people are evil than I think are actually evil. Like with lawyers and stuff like that.
I reckon they're more likely to be stupid than evil.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say. It's like people who lie to themselves. They'll come up with reasons why what they're doing is okay, rather than actually being evil.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's actually kind of ties into with the sexual misconduct kind of thing as well. Is a lot of people I don't think are necessarily inherently evil, but they're lying to themselves constantly. They come up with reasons why things are okay, or they come up with reasons why they're damaged as people, or they'll make excuses to themselves, and like that's the key. That's what I'm talking about. Is like if you just make it like just a harsh consequence, like oh cool, you're out of the game now. Then that just keeps that going, that cycle. But if you constantly teach everyone how to be a proper good person, then it'll slowly trickle down.
Yeah, I agree. We're witnessing a change in popular culture at the moment that women aren't allowing people in positions of power over them to exploit either their power over them for sexual purposes or even just misogynistic purposes.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, once we realize it's not going to work and we can't do it anymore, I say we, but I don't really mean we, because we don't do that. Men will realize they can't get away with it, and then it'll probably die, or only really exist in really small numbers of people who believe themselves to be freedom fighters fighting for the freedom of misogyny.
Yeah, Jesus. And then all those guys will just be assholes.
Yeah, they'll just be trolls on Twitter. They'll be Twitter trolls, and they'll be pretty pathetic. But then again, there will also be women who didn't stop fighting for rights and continued to fight for more rights than men have. Probably. Yeah. So there's toxicity on all fronts.
Yeah. And unfortunately, they're always the loudest. And that's why we're talking about this.
That's what pisses me off about Twitter and people getting mad at trolls on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's like there may be 10 people who are actively engaging you on a topic, but there's 30 who are calling you a stupid hoe and that you should put a knife in a toaster and kill yourself.
Yeah.
And they're only reacting to those people, even though they're so stupid.
Yeah.
The things they're saying are so stupid.
Yeah.
God damn it. There was a porn star who killed herself recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She didn't want to work with
a gay
porn actor.
Yeah, or someone who'd done gay porn. Yep.
I think her reason was that like there's a chance he would have HIV or something like that.
Yeah.
And she just said, I don't want to work with gay porn stars because and then she got harassed until she killed herself, I think.
Yeah.
On Twitter. So, I mean, she shouldn't have done that because that's stupid.
Yeah.
Trolls go once there's no more fun to be had. Mm-hmm. Like her dying.
Yeah.
So they probably moved on immediately. I'm sure there's probably a troll out there who was like, fuck, I really fucked up.
Yeah.
This is not fun anymore. Hopefully. But, yeah, she should have just fucking chilled out and waited for it to blow over.
Yeah, there's a lot of other people involved, though. It wasn't just trolls. There was a lot of other people in the industry.
Really?
Who were just really full on
blacklisting her?
Yeah, absolutely. Who just...
Right, so I think it's pretty clear we know that that's not the way to go. You don't blacklist someone and then
a lot of people
troll them to death.
A lot of people did then come out afterwards saying, what the fuck did we just do? Like, we all as a collective just killed this person. Regardless of if she had incorrect views, we still killed her, essentially.
Dude, there's porn stars out there who are quite popular who said they never want to work with black people.
Yeah.
Like, they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But,
it's timing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's just what blows up, what's trending, if there's some natural disaster and you tweet that, probably goes unnoticed. But if it's a slow news day and you tweet that shit, then maybe that'll be the end of you.
Right. The end of you? You mean like if some... Do you mean if someone made a joke about a natural disaster?
No. If there's something happening that's attention grabbing, that takes over the internet for a day. Yeah. And you say, I'm not 100% sure that Hitler was a bad guy. You know, that tweet's probably going.
I see what you're saying.
That tweet's probably going to get a lot less flack than it deserves because there's something else happening. Yeah. But if it's a slow news day and you say, shit's all sweet. With that guy, with old World War II bloke.
And then suddenly, a story about a porn star not wanting to work with a gay actor. Yeah.
But I was going to say... and
fucking BuzzFeed.
Also saying that Hitler's a good guy is a bad example. But nonetheless, like, just general inflammatory kind of shit. Shit that's going to get people worked up.
Yeah.
I mean, surely it should be pretty easy to self-regulate, though, to say, like, is this something to be brought up on the internet, on my official account? Or is this a discussion to be brought up on a dodgy forum somewhere, or just with friends over a couple of drinks?
Why would anyone but her, the gay porn star, and maybe some directors even care or have a say? Why would someone who's not even a fan of hers have anything to say? Why should anybody listen to them? In maybe every case too. Like, unless someone has said an incredibly well thought out thing that no one else has considered, why do we even care what some random person has to say about it? I think that's one of the main problems with social media. You just shouldn't have an opinion on so many things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what some random person has to say about global warming. They probably have never seen an actual chart in their life. So don't talk about global warming, even.
There's something to be said about, like, if you acknowledge these stupid things that they're talking about, then that can kind of almost legitimize
totally
what they're talking about.
But they get, like, it's like there's a feminist I guess social media person who I can see the inflammatory nature of what they're saying. They they want to piss people off because it's almost like not insult comedy or something. What am I trying to think of? Basically a show that gets popularity because it pisses people off. I don't know what that's called.
I don't know.
It's sort of like Andy Kaufman's style of comedy.
Yeah. Or South Park in its like heyday.
Yeah. He wanted to piss people off because that's still a reaction. That's still a click or a hit or whatever. Yeah. But this person does it, but they're not just pretending that they're doing good things. They believe they're doing good things, even though they exist off just saying things that piss people off. And then say that, like, I'm fighting a good fight here. And it's just like that. I disagree entirely.
you think it's just people not self-regulating enough or not self-criticizing enough? Like,
they have to let go of it because they need to post a certain amount of times a day, so that they can't.
Yeah.
They can't afford to actually think about what they're saying.
And it's easier just to assume that you're a good person rather than to actually constantly
accept that
check
you
the
aren't.
boxes, actually go through and go, is this actually a positive effect on the world?
Yeah.
Or is it easy just to think, oh, I'm recycling, therefore I'm a good person?
Right.
That's like when, or to use that as an example, when something like comes up, like being environmentally friendly. It's, one thing I've noticed is like is products will come out, Nikki brought up a thing today saying a BuzzFeed article, something similar, saying here's 10 reasons why you should use hand towels over hand dryers, like electric blow dryers, and 9 out of 10 of the answers were it's better for your skin, it feels better, blah blah blah, all this bullshit. And then the last one said also if you're environmentally conscious, it's also better for the environment. And the way that's kind of worded also suggests that it's like this thing that you do. It's like this. It's a bit of a trend, and same with So when things like that come out, and everyone kind of jumps on the bandwagon because it makes you appear like a good person, or just enables you to think that you're a good person without actually doing anything or actually thinking about at all what you're doing.
It's almost like a fallacy because there's no proof. Well, what does the phrase "it's better for the environment" like even mean? Like how? Because first of all, if you're using solar power to power a hand dryer, how are you
then that's
negatively impacting the fucking planet?
Yeah.
Also, hand towels, if used in a public toilet, you're going to have so many different people's hands on the same towel. Those things would be dripping with bacteria.
Hand towels would normally be disposable, but...
No.
Yeah, like paper towels.
Oh, is that what they mean?
I think so.
They mean paper towels over hand dryers.
I think so, yeah.
Fucking BuzzFeed is so bad, man. Talk about making a mountain out of a molehill. Making a fucking BuzzFeed article out of a molehill.
It's like, okay, so we're living in, as we said before, we're living in this age of social change and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But then is the way it's happening, is it the way that it had to happen, is that it's teaching us all to be hyper reactive, or is that just in itself a reaction to the times now?
I think we've always known that we love drama. It's just that we're making reality drama. So
we all have a place to put our drama.
Yeah, we all used to do our work and be really jolly and lovely fellows to one another, and then go home and we watch our drama on TV. But then we started pretending that just switching on a camera and watching other people fucking be miserable and hate each other is like a fun experience. And then people just started behaving like that. I think there's a lot of imitation going on, people pretending to be characters from TV shows, and it doesn't gel. And
political movements. They're pretending to be the Anita Sarkeesians of the world.
Yeah.
When they're just people sitting at home on their computers.
Yeah, you aren't just a feminist spokesperson because you share some beliefs.
Yeah.
I'm not a spokesperson for the anti-feminist movement, even though I've taken up that mantle for this podcast for some reason. And but let's reiterate that I'm not actually against feminism in its base ideas.
Yeah, we're just talking about drama.
I
think that's the thing. I think that's the driving force about everything we're talking about. Is everything. Every good political movement that we see cropping up is dramatized by a lot of people, and it hurts the cause so much.
Yeah.
When a certain couple of people dramatize that, and then the reaction from other people is dramatized, and then it all just keeps building and building and getting that, and then that's the topic. Is the fight between these two people, not the actual argument, not the actual causes that are being fought for. So people like Anita Sarkeesian probably had a much bigger agenda but she has to deal with this constant bullshit from everyone else being reactionary to what she's saying.
Yeah.
I'm not totally defending her because she can also be very dramatic as well, and she's done some silly things. Lots of people have done some silly things, but the drama is the main show. That's the main thing we're subscribed to. It's not what they're talking about. It's not what we're actually trying to change. Perhaps it's a bit of a conspiracy theory, but I wonder if it's like no, it's because it sells tickets. We like drama. I was going to say it's like
Anita Sarkeesian might be Hitler's daughter.
I was going to say Donald Trump.
She is Donald Trump. Yeah.
It's to keep us all riled up because the drama fuels.
Right? Why would Anita Sarkeesian become a sexist president?
Because no, he would become a feminist leader to keep the fire going
and wear large hoop earrings.
Because if everyone's dramatic, if everyone's worked up, then nothing actually happens because we're busy fighting with one another, and then they can just step in and just do what the fuck they want.
They are both simultaneously rich while being incredibly cheap.
All the signs are there.
Yeah, she got a huge amount of money on a Kickstarter campaign.
That's right.
Which she then turned into a very low budget TV show that she released like 2 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was wearing the same clothes in like 5 videos, so they could tell that they just filmed them all in one take kind of thing, and not one take, but like in one day of shooting. Okay. She just like could tell that it was very cheap and did not cost the thousands that she earned.
Yeah.
Which she probably spent setting up a little.
But that's the nature of Kickstarter or any crowdfunding. I find it funny when people get worked up. Like, if people promise one thing and don't deliver, but if the thing does arrive and it's not to the overblown standards that you expected because you gave them all this extra money, it's like, you gave them the extra money and they had their sights set on a much smaller project.
Yeah.
And these aren't all industry professionals.
No. She got what she asked for.
Yeah.
But it looked like she'd never really knew how to actually properly spend that money. Same with
that's Kickstarter.
Same with the Double Fine adventure.
Yeah.
He got like several million, even though he only wanted 400,000.
Yeah.
And he still fucked his budget up.
Yeah.
So like he got a lot more money than he asked for, and he almost completely fucked up the budget on that.
Well, there's the danger. Like, as much as we want artists to just be in full control, and that's good, but there's also something to be said about giving them too much freedom.
Mm.
And that's maybe one good thing about the struggle of being an artist, of like being further down the chain, is you don't have access to a lot of good stuff. And it's like when you stare at a blank canvas, that's a lot harder to come up with a good idea, rather than when you're reacting to something, or you are drawing in a little notepad, or you're putting your artwork on a brick wall somewhere down the street. You know, like,
I get you.
With limitations, kind of breeds that creativity, and once you have this endless possibility, you can kind of feel smothered and just freak out.
Yeah. Also, and then begin paying yourself a lot of money.
Also, when you've got a lot of expectations on you by a whole bunch of random people that gave you their money already, like, you would just freak out if you didn't expect that. If you were like, I'm gonna do a small game, it's gonna cost a few $100,000. Me and my mate's gonna make it in my bedroom. We just want to eat ramen noodles and do that for a few years. No sweat. And then if it comes out, it's not as good. It
sounds like excellent fun.
It sounds like the best fun. That was probably his plan. And then everyone said, how about you have $4 million?
Let's go to studio!
Yeah, and then it's like, well, shit,
3
now they
expect... directors, 4 coders, and my own personal budget as head of the studio.
Yeah.
There's no legal precedent to actually deliver on the product with Kickstarter 2. You can legally just take all the money and run, which is fucked. But
that's bad, yeah. And
that's trust.
It's if we want creators to trust us, then we need to trust the creators. It can backfire in both directions, though. And if you, I don't know, like, that's a game. If it's a game that takes like 2 years to make, 2 years worth of time where something could go wrong.
Yeah.
And who the fuck knows what goes wrong? You know, like what happens if like halfway through there was a giant server crash and you lost half your work? That would be fucking ridiculous. I don't know how that would happen, but something like that, you never know what would happen. Or if you hired one person you thought you could trust, had control over a big portion of the game design, and then they fucked off, leaving a whole bunch of loose ends and didn't do their job properly.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, well, now I'm fucked, but it was actually this guy who kind of put me in this situation. I'm just trying to do my best to keep fans on my side, and it'll just be this constant battle. And
yeah,
I mean, but okay. Actually, I will say though, then that's about transparency.
Yeah, I believe in transparency, even at a fault, like to a fault, like at my own loss or whatever. Yeah,
you should.
That's why my Patreon doesn't promise anything.
Yeah.
And has on...
Links down below,
That's true. I'll even admit that there's been at least a month or two where I didn't produce any content.
Yeah.
From, like, mental illness or whatever. Migraines.
Not a good enough reason.
But the thing is, on other months I'll release like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And when I really weigh up the say the price that art can sell at, like one of my pieces could make like a couple $100 or something. Yeah. If that's what I was making it for, I'd produce something that was $200 worth or whatever. But it's only costing whoever's seeing it like $10 or free. Yeah. Most of the people who are seeing it are getting it for free.
Yeah.
The really lovely people who are supporting me have gotten it for $10. So I think that's sort of reasonable at the end of the day. That just depends on how much you like what I've done though, of course. I'm continuing to make things that are actually meaningful to me rather than just producing content that isn't meaningful to me.
So actually then it's kind of funny, a bit of an ironic situation then that like these people, most people who will donate to something like a Kickstarter or Patreon or like that, they'll be doing it because they want content that is honest. They'll want content from their creators that is true to them. Yeah. Because otherwise they could just go back to television or blockbuster movies, which are they put through the paces. They have the think tanks and they go through the focus group testing to make sure that you're going to love every second of it.
Yeah.
But you're trying to pay for creators to follow their dreams and their hearts and just make shit that they want. But then at the same time, they have huge. If it's not what they want, it's like, well, I gave you $10. I'm your fan. It's like, well, what did you expect? I mean, obviously you want to try and trust people, and you want to have hope that they're going to do amazing things. But these are just people making art with zero to no proper work ethic, or not work ethic, but like professionalism. That's actually been tested and trialed in a professional environment. They're just doing it because they want to do it. So to give them $10 is the best. But to expect a blockbuster film or a blockbuster game, AAA title, with all the bells and whistles, in a timely manner, under budget, is a bit like... Then you're just the studio.
$4 million to create a fucking point-and-click game.
That's a lot of money.
And he did it half of it before he fucking blew out. Yeah. But to his credit, he finished it.
Yeah.
Probably at his own expense, or he found some private investors to finish it off. But still, come on, like, if I got $4 million, like you said, I'd get my good friends in. Yeah. We'd eat. We wouldn't even have to eat ramen. Fuck. I'd say, hey, here's $1 million each for the whole fucking year.
Yeah.
Can you survive on $1 million in 1 year? We'll try.
Yeah. Well, give them
let's eat fucking really well, and then just work all the time.
Give them $750,000. You take that extra $250 from each of them, and you buy an office. No, you don't buy an office. You rent an office. That will be next to nothing.
Buy an office. Why not? Like,
buy some
you
computers.
Don't want to stop there. You don't want to just...
And you're done. However, then, where did you get the $4 million? Are we talking Kickstarter? Because if you got that from Kickstarter...
Yeah.
But then people will be like, well, where's my $4 million game? I've seen $4 million games. And
well, you've got a fucking year to make it, or more. I mean, like...
Before guys can't make Call of Duty.
Yeah, yes. Well, I would argue that they can. They don't want to, for starters.
Okay.
That's not what people are asking for either.
That's true.
Double Fine... Well, okay, fuck Double Fine. Tim Schafer.
Yeah.
He was producing, like... blocky 3D funny games. Like the value of the game was in the writing, the puzzles, the humor. Visually, like, they were sort of fun, but they were like squares and shitty polygons, and I think you can make that fairly cheaply. In fact, I think people have done it. Notch was making Minecraft on no money. Like, he was working to fund that. And he just did that by himself.
Yeah.
So, and that earned billions of dollars. It was bought for, what, $2 billion from Microsoft? And that was after the years of millions of dollars worth of sales. So, yeah. I don't know. There's something going on there. $4 million just, like, disappearing is like... I don't know, some people just want to live like... I betcha anything. He kept it under wraps, but he probably hired a limo. They went out on the town drinking champagne going, yeah, let's do this, guys! But whatever. Let's start a Kickstarter. You want to make a Kickstarter?
What are you going to do? I need a haircut.
Okay.
You could use some more wine.
We are referencing Internet Comment Etiquette with Eric, one of the best channels on YouTube.
Top 3 channels on YouTube, I will dare to say.
Don't go check it out, though, because I like it better as an exclusive thing that just me and my friends know about.
And guarantee his popularity will ruin it.
He openly and facetiously made a Kickstarter so that he would go and drink wine and get a haircut. And that's it. And then he'd make a video about it. That was all he promised. It took him probably over a year.
I think it was like 2 years or something ridiculous. Perfectly demonstrating his point, though.
And he was doing it to he said, I probably won't actually do this.
Yeah.
At the bottom or whatever. And they gave him like $2,000 or something. I forget how much.
Which he blew all on t-shirts. The actual film didn't cost much to make, but he made t-shirts for it.
Yeah.
It cost more. It cost the most money.
And he's a comedian, so he did exactly what he wanted to do, and it was a hilarious thing to experience. But yeah, we should do something like that.
Well, I'd like to write a self-help book.
Excellent.
Written by you and myself.
Okay, yep.
Where we teach people how to take the broken brain that is
absurdity
is themselves and laugh at it.
Yeah, until you finally break.
Yeah,
breaking is one of the best things you can experience as a human. It's terrifying, and you think you've fucked up, but you reach this point where you're actually free to be someone else afterwards.
This is really a book that could be probably summed up in about a page, but if we get over $10...
There'll be a lot of drawings of people blowing their brains out and then realising that they should not do that.
$10 gets you 2 pages worth of the book, which will be the full book. If we get $100...
We'll rip out 2 of the pages so that everyone else is... No, wait, no, never mind.
If we get $100, we will include 100 photos from suicide crime scenes.
Yeah.
And if we get $10,000, we will actually write the actual book itself, which will be 250 pages.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you know it's going to be exactly 250 pages?
Maybe they've already written it and I just need $10,000.
True. It's a good idea. 10,000 is a good price when you think about it.
That'll be an e-publication. I'm not printing a book for 10,000.
You mean you won't spend 10,000 on printing it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, hopefully not. That's a ridiculous price.
Anyway, where are we up to now? We're up now. I think we've got about 10 minutes left on this old podcast.
Yeah, right.
First live, Coprolalia.
Live. Well...
Not really.
Yeah.
Recorded in person.
Yeah.
Hopefully the sound quality is ever so slightly better.
Yeah.
No guarantees yet.
Yeah, we're not running through Discord.
Perhaps we shall feature some fans on Discord at some point. Wouldn't that be fun for all of you one person listening? It's
a pity that Joel can't just randomly drop in.
That's true. There's that element that we are missing.
They're really funny moments usually. We'll be talking about existence and death or something. I think
much all we talk about.
I think we were talking about killing ourselves when he popped in once, and then he said, "Yeah, I've been thinking about killing myself as well."
And we both just burst out laughing.
Yeah. To be honest, Joel, I think Joel must be having like a lot of fun, you know?
Just in general? Yeah.
He's getting... I mean, he told me, he might not want me to tell this, but I'll keep it brief. He spins fire poi at festivals, and then he literally gets in with chicks because of that.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's good life. So everyone out there who's struggling, get on the fire poi.
In fact, that's exactly what Joel did. He was going through a tough time, and he started spinning, and he got really good at it, and then just started attending doofs and spinning poi while gacked as.
Every valley has a hill to climb.
Yes.
There you go.
Not every valley is worth crossing, though, guys.
No. And you don't need to cross a valley. You don't need to go through struggle streets to make a good hip hop album.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, if you got the flow, I will say that you should probably fucking know something first, because sometimes... Because I get headaches a lot, right? So sometimes when I'm listening to something, I'm really sitting down and listening to it. Like, it hurts me to have my time wasted.
Yeah.
Like, I have to decide whether I'm going, yeah, this is really fun, or whether, like, wow, I'm like wasting my own precious time here. So I want to be learning something or feeling something.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to feel much from someone who has not got anything to tell or teach.
I think my issue comes from if they pretend they have something to teach and then they don't teach you anything. Or if they don't actually have something to say. Because if somebody's just making party music, someone's just making turn-up music, something just to have fun with, then that's fine, that's great. But like, you say that, you kind of be like, here we go, this is going to be turned down for what, motherfuckers? And
it's
this, like, and then you make that song.
Kanye admits that every time he goes, he's actually saying, yeah, this is a joke, guys.
He usually does do that in joke songs, though. He's got his moments when he's clearly having fun with it.
Got a brand new restaurant. Hurry up with my damn croissant.
Can't tell. I love Kanye so much.
In a French ass restaurant. That's way better than what I said.
I love Kanye so much.
In a French ass restaurant.
I think he's legit sincere.
Yeah,
almost all of the time.
I think he's sincerely a dick.
But that's fun.
Oh yeah. I've had countless amount of fun to Kanye West's music.
I think he still brings something to the table because like that's a look into a human mind that we don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think it's good to have almost all states of mind, all different kinds of ways of looking at life portrayed in some form of artwork.
Yeah.
And as long as it's sincere. So I think people making music just for the money, that's totally worthless, sorry. But Kanye legit thinks the things he thinks and puts them into music and is really sincere about it.
People keep throwing money his way.
there's still something to look at. I still learn something from listening to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even though I disagree with him.
In fact, I completely agree with you in that regard. He is genuinely wanting to contribute to art.
Yeah.
And he believes he is. Which is different from someone doing a soulless cash-in.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's also different than Kendrick turning up for a verse in a Taylor Swift song.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's shameless cash grab.
Yeah.
And he probably admits that. Kendrick is transparent enough to admit that.
Maybe.
Oh,
I think so, actually. I don't know.
No, this is real art. It's coming from my heart.
He makes real art, for sure, but he also does some stupid shit. He does a lot of really bad features. He's on the latest Maroon 5
album. His dick isn't free either. Oh yeah, he's on what?
Maroon 5's new latest album.
Oh.
Which apparently is just god-awful. So there you go, there's a cash grab. But they'll still get played in the club. They'll still get radio play. They'll make money.
Let's listen to it after this.
Let's come down on that shit. Let's not come down on Kanye. Just back off on Kanye.
Oh yeah, all right.
Basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know you're on the Kanye train.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
You introduced me to Kanye.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I copped a lot of shit over Christmas for liking Kanye.
Oh really?
Yeah. Me and Nikki did from her
Christian family.
Some of her family, yeah. Oh, they're not the Christian sides, but nonetheless, people coming down on Kanye. It's like you're just playing the game. You're playing the Kanye game or the pop culture game. Is that you're supposed to hate him.
The Yay game.
Everyone's the Yay game. You're supposed to hate him.
I started this podcast saying Yay is in the building. So yeah, I think
this is a good place to end it.
Yes, what was I going to say?
The Yay game.
Yay is leaving the building! This sounds like a Kanye West song. Ball so hard, motherfuckers gonna find me.
Alright, that's how we're gonna end it. It's been Coprolalia.
Yeah.